We are 5 minutes into the New York Open here. Check out this beautiful trade. After the open, we came right down to yesterday's point of control to the tick. There's also a 50% wick level right there. A little double confluence. Got an imbalance signal and a washout signal. Bounced right off of yesterday's point of control. There's also the 50 area. We just bounced back up to VWAP. Even with all the crazy volatility this morning, had zero issues with the flow stack chart. I've got it as a regular NQ chart. I've just got the data for the NQ and the ES on here. So up in the grid, only have the NQ and the ES. Then above the candles, I've got the NQ and the ES delta. The only reason I had the MNQ data on here yesterday is because I was trying to trade off this chart. But now I've got a micro chart over here. This is what I'm trading on. Got regular NQ delta under here, but the actual chart is the micros. So I'm trading on my 5-minute micro chart. I've got my 1-minute NQ chart with the ES data. Then I've got a 60-minute NQ chart. Got a whole bunch of crazy news today. We got red flag news at 10. Also had the Supreme Court decision coming in sometime around 10ish. We just came up to yesterday's New York Open. Started getting a buttload of signals to the downside here. Just wicked off of yesterday's New York Open. Started getting some nice positive delta coming in on this candle. Broke above VWAP in the 20. Started moving above this huge cluster of key levels. It really took off there. The previous 5-minute candle had a decent bottom wick with point of control down under the wick as well. So when we broke above the high of that last 5-minute candle, it was also above VWAP. Popped up about 70 points there after the breakout. After this bearish candle here with point of control up into the wick, all these signals getting a nice push down, about 20 points. I'm trying to be careful. The price action is a little choppy the past 10 minutes or so. We still got that red flag news coming out in 15 minutes, but I did just grab a long. We've been hovering here for a while. We wicked off the 250 SMA there. On the next candle we started wicking again, had an imbalance signal. I got into a long, just looking at this mega cluster down here. I feel like we're gonna get some kind of reaction at this mega cluster of key levels. So I hopped into a long there, got my 10 points pretty much instantly. Got kind of a big cluster up in this area too, so I'm just kind of bouncing in between these clusters of key levels at the moment. We had a mighty boner candle to the downside there and dropped a little bit further, right to this nice little cluster of key levels, the midnight level and the London Open. Blam! Imbalance signal came in, bounced right off that area, right back up to VWAP. Check out these last 3 5-minute candles. Decent top wicks, point of control up in all 3 wicks, wicking off of the 20 SMA on the 5-minute. Then we got this big drop. I've got my 5-minute chart pretty simplified. I really just want to notice price structure on these 5-minute candles, see where point of control is, see where delta is. Also, trading on my chart with the least amount of indicators is also helpful for general speed of being able to move my take profit and stop loss around. If there's a lot of stuff on the chart trader can get a little slow sometimes. So the 10 o'clock news came out, didn't really do much, and apparently the Supreme Court decision got delayed. They're not going to do anything till Wednesday or something like that. So just kind of waiting for price to do something. Been in this range for quite some time now, between pre-market center and the midnight London Open. I just got into a long here at this 50% wick level, looking at this delta. Look at this positive delta on the ES. This was happening when we were down here. I got in and it ticked me from getting my take profit and then pulled back, so I hopped out when it pulled back and then it just took off again. So I think I only got a couple points, but right after I got out it shot up. Would have got my full 10 points. But anytime it ticks me, I usually try to get out unless I'm just feeling super confident. But the flow stack giving me that great trade idea right there from the extreme positive delta on the ES right on my NQ chart. I wanted to buy right there. Look at the strong delta we got there. Nice close above VWAP, above this mega cluster of key levels. I just sat there thinking about it and it moved before I pushed the button. But we had plenty of room up to the 250 SMA to get in 10 points. Came right up to the 250 SMA. It was also a strong volume level from the key levels indicator. This little purple line. So double confluence there. We just bounced down off of that level 20 points. The MMT key levels indicator, it's got all kinds of good stuff on it. I just switched the offset of my signals. So now I got the arrows appearing above all my delta numbers. I've got my divergence signals appearing above all the numbers, so it's a little bit cleaner there. Had some divergence up here, wicked right off of pre-market center. This is from the key levels indicator. Just dropped down over 30 points right off of pre-market center. I'm just waiting for something juicy. It's great having no time limit on all these accounts. You can just wait for the best trade setups. Don't have to worry about trying to do anything crazy before a subscription renews or I get some kind of monthly fee. I got the lifetime PAs on the Apex accounts and no time limit on the Lucid accounts. It's nice just trading stress-free, taking it easy. All right, got my third cup of hot chocolate. Less than 1 minute until 10:30. Got a nice push up here. Got a big area on the delta profile up at whole number and a previous day point of control. Some big bottom wicks on these last two 1 hour candles. We're getting a hold up around this R1 pivot area. Previous day VWAP closed there. Cumulative delta turned bearish on this last candle. See the red background. This is the MMT trend and reversal trend flow with an input of the cumulative delta. So it's been green this whole time till this candle turned bearish. Getting a little bit of a pullback there. I do like the idea of a potential bounce trade if we make it up to 900, just depending on what price action is doing as we approach. If I don't see anything good in the next few minutes, might just be done for the day, done for the week. Had a good week. I got into a little bit of a short here. Started getting some negative percentages here. Delta's not really going anywhere. I think I got another 4 points or so. So I record the 9:30 to 10:30 trade session, and then I start editing the video. And sometimes while I'm editing, I'll look over and see a good trade opportunity. I did just take one right off of pre-market center. Had an imbalance signal coming in. I'm looking at time of day. It's getting really close to 11 o'clock. So I grabbed along there, hit market close. I think I got 7 or 8 points. Just popped up over 20 points there, right back to the 20 SMA. Coming up to this whole number area at 900. Been waiting to see if we're going to hit this level. And we had some pretty strong negative delta coming in on the ES. At one point it was up to negative 600. Grabbed a little short there, but then it started to dry up. I cashed out for just 4 points there. I should have held on. We went bearish on the cumulative delta background. As soon as this candle opened, then we started getting a bunch of negative delta coming in. Just had a nice 20-point drop. Here's a bounce trade that I'm not taking. Look at the positive delta on both the NQ and the ES. It could be exhaustion, but if we got that much delta as we're approaching a key level and I'm looking for a bounce trade, I'll usually pass on that. If we're coming up to a key level and I'm looking for a bounce, I want to see delta dropping off, not increasing like that. We did just get a washout signal and an imbalance signal to the downside, point of control up into the wick on this candle. Then after the close of this candle, we have dropped down over 10 points there. Gonna call it a day there. Up pretty nice in all the accounts. Anyone that's out there using code MonkeyMan is the absolute best. Thanks so much for your support. I wish you best of luck in your trading. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.